Very good morning, students. Today we are going to start our next topic from corporate accounting. And the topic which we are going to start is preference shares. So we'll be starting with the topic preference shares. Okay, students, as we have discussed about the shares that are basically the part which the shareholders have in the company, right? All the shares are the part of shareholders, right? There may be the situations when the shareholders must have invested into the shares, or there may be the real owners of the business of the company, and those real owners are who has started the business, so they have that much share, right? Or there may be some the outside applicants who became a shareholder after the registration of a company, after the company has came into the process of running. Okay, so those applicants who apply for the share applications which are invited by the company to the majority customers, to the majority public, then there are those shareholders who get the shares by purchase when there is in their prospectus, when invitations are invited for the shares, right? So we are going to start the preference shares. Now, what are the preference shares, students? These preference shares are those shares which are given preference over the other shares. Now, what type of preference? We have already discussed in the previous classes, students. This preference is that whenever at the end the dividend is paid, right, or out of the capital the amount is paid, these preference shareholders are given more importance and preference as compared to the other shareholders, right, students? So they are paid firstly. Then afterwards, the rest amount is paid to the other shareholders. So the preference shares are holded by the preference shareholders, and the preference shareholders get the first preference over the distribution of dividend. Right, students? So these are also known as preferred stock. Now, what is preferred stock? This is that stock which has more value. It means the preference shareholders who are paid for the preference shares that have the more dividend, right? More profit we see from it, right? So it's a special type of share where dividends are paid to the shareholders prior to the issuance of common stock dividends. Ergo, preference shareholders hold preferential rights over common dividends. Okay, over common shareholders regarding the dividends. So the preference shareholders have the preferential right. As I've already told you, they have the first right to get the dividend. Right, students? So we will be discussing it now. So they are saying that if a company lands into bankruptcy, preference shareholders are issued dividends first to have the first right to the company's assets before common stock investors. We have discussed just right now that all the preference shareholders, they got the first right rather than the common shareholders. So they are much more important at the time when the dividend is to be paid. But students, the dividend is paid to them firstly, that we know that, right? It means that no matter whatever the situation is, it means no matter whatever the situation is, they will definitely get paid the dividend, right? They will definitely get paid with the dividend. But if there is no more profit left aside, then the common shareholders are ignored, right? But we cannot ignore the preference shareholders, right? Whenever we need to give the dividend to the various preference shareholders. Right, students? I hope it is clear to you all what we have discussed till now. The next topic which we are going to start is features of preference shares. The first one is preference shareholders have significantly more heft than standard shareholders of any company. They have the first rights to pay all the dividends, but the companies whose shares they own. So yes, this is a feature of preference share. As I've already told you students that the preference shares are those shares which are given to the preference shareholders, right? Those shareholders who have the preferential right over the dividends of the company. So this is the very first feature. Then holder of these shares do not have any voting rights in business proceedings. The features also falls among the major disadvantages of preference shares. It might seem like a major handicap for any investor. However, it is precisely the reason why so many companies offer these shares. The aspect is also similar to debenture owners. So all the owners of the common owners of the organization have their say in the company, have the voting rights in the company, right? And about the preference shareholders, the preference shareholders do not have any voting rights in the company. They cannot vote and elect anyone. They cannot vote and give their suggestions regarding anything in the organization, right? So, but the common shareholders have the voting rights also. No doubt they are not given preference at the time of paying the dividends, but the common shareholders have the main say in the organization, and the common shareholders, they are also paid, but if there is profit left. But after paying the preference shareholders, if there is no amount left, then they are ignored, because the company also have to keep from that profit amount as a surplus, so that that surplus should be used in the time of when there is financial crunch, right students? After that, one feature which is under advertised is that dividends are paid to the shareholders on specific dates. It is not entirely dissimilar to a monthly income. So what they say, that all the dividends which are paid to the various preference shareholders, those dividends, those amounts are paid on a specific date in every month, right? Similar as every employee of the organization gets the salary, right? In the similar way, the dividends are also paid to the shareholders on a specific date, right, students? Then we have, if an investor decides to buy a special type of these shares, they should look for irredeemable preference shares which are not redeemed, which do not get redeemed, right? These shares allow the holders to have a certain say on their maturity dates. So what they are saying, that if an investor specially decides to buy special type of shares, right, then they said they should look for the irredeemable preference shares, right? Those which cannot get redeemed or which cannot be redeemed, right? These shares allow the holders to have a certain say on their maturity dates. So when the maturity dates are on, they can have some say. They can say anything regarding the organization, regarding their shares, etc. Right? These are the features, students. Yes, students. So the next topic which we are going to start is types of preference shares, right? So the first one is non-cumulative preference shares. What are the non-cumulative preference shares, students? Anybody? Okay. So the preference shares are paid to the preference shareholders. You know this thing, right? So the preference shareholders who are eligible to be paid dividends only from a year's profit. From a year's profit, the dividend is paid to the preference shareholders, right? Those are the non-cumulative preference shareholders. And those shares which are paid from a year's profit, those are non-cumulative preference shares, right? Non-cumulative preferred stock does not issue unpaid dividends to the shareholders. Neither can holders of such stock claim unpaid dividends in the future. So I hope this is clear to you all that the non-cumulative preference shares are those shares which are paid from a year's profit to whom? To the shareholders, to the preference shareholders, right? The next one is redeemable preference shares, right? In case of the redeemable preference share, students, a company has the right to buy back the shares. We have studied in the starting in issues of shares, right? What we have studied, once the company, when the company will invite the applications, right? When the company invites the various applications in its prospectus, either in its prospectus or by raising the shares applications on the website, official website of the company. What happens when the company invites the applications? You know that from the customers, a major group approaches the company, right, in order to purchase the shares, right? So when the company allot the shares to the shareholders, after the allotment, what they are saying that the redeemable preference shares are those that after giving the allotment, after allotting the shares to the customers, after so much time, when the company buy back its shares from its shareholders, right? The shares which are allotted to the shareholders, the company also, students, buy back the shares, right? So when the company buy back the shares, right, and the company always give the prior notice to the customers that we are going to buy back our shares, right, at a fixed rate. Okay, it's quite obvious if a company is buying the shares back from the customers, it's quite obvious they will also give some profit to the customers from whom they are buying again their own shares, right? So these shares are redeemable preference shares, those shares which are buyback by the company, right? Then they are irredeemable shares, students, irredeemable preference shares. These are those shares that can only be redeemed by the company at the time of when there is a sort of time when there is liquidation, right? Or when their winding up operations are going on. Those shares are irredeemable preference shares. Then there are participating preference shares. What are the participating preference shares? These are shares where the company issuing the dividends pays decrease or increase, right? So what is the value? The value increase. Which value? The dividends value increase to the shareholders along with the preference dividend. So preference dividend is also included into this, and all this is done at a fixed rate. A fixed rate is already decided in prior by the company, and all these are decided by the company priorly, right? As well as the participating preference shareholders have the rights on the surplus assets of the company, right, at the time of liquidation. As I've told you students that preference shareholders, they always have preference right. They always have a preferential right over the various shares of the company, right? Then students, there are non-participating preference shares. Now, what are these non-participating preference shares? In case of these non-participating preference shares, the shareholders are entitled only to the dividends at a fixed rate. Okay. The shareholders, they are given the dividends at a fixed rate, and it does not include the profit. It does not include the surplus amount. Which is the surplus amount? The amount above the profit. Which is surplus amount? The amount above the profit, right? That is the surplus amount. So, in non-participating preference share students, the dividends are no doubt paid to the preference shareholders. They are to be, because it's the legal requirement of the company, right? And they are paid the dividend at a fixed rate, but they are not paid the dividend, or you can say the amount from the surplus, right, students? So the next one which we are going to do is convertible preference shares. Now, what are the convertible preference shares, students? Shareholders who have the right to get the preference shares, such convertible preference shares, they have the option to convert the common shares to a preferred share, right? So they can also convert the common shares to the preference shares. These shares are adopted so students, these convertible preference shares, how the preference shareholders convert the preference shares, what they do is they are eligible to make an agreement with the company that whenever the price of common shares are increased, whenever the price of common shares are increased, those preference shareholders can purchase those shares, right? You can say purchase, or you can say they can convert their shares into those shares, right? In order to get the profit. So whenever there is good return in the company, whenever there are good profits in the company, the shares are receiving high rate of return, right? The shares are receiving high rate of return. At that time, these preference shareholders, who are the shareholders of the convertible preference shares, they can sign into in an agreement with the company, and they can convert the common shares to their shares in order to get the profit, right? Then there are non-convertible preference shares. The shareholders who are eligible for the non-convertible preference shares, they do not hold the rights to convert the issuer's common shares, right? So they cannot get into an agreement in order to convert the shares in case of profits or in case of good returns. They're not eligible to. So those shares which are not eligible to get converted into the shares, those are known as non-convertible preference shares, right? Then there are preference shares with the callable option. Now, what are these? You know that the shareholders having preference shares with a callable option. Now, what is this? The issuing company holds the right to call or buy back the stocks at a predetermined price after a set date, right? So the shares which are owned by some shareholders, right? What does the issuing company do? The issuing company was priorly issued the shares to the shareholders. The company set a fixed date. With a prior notice, it buy back its shares, right? I hope it is clear to you all, students. Then there are adjustable rate preference shares. The shareholders who are eligible to the adjustable rate preference shares, the dividend rate here depends on the prevailing interest rates in the market and are not fixed, right? So whatever the rates are right now, the rates may give profit to the person or the rates may give loss to the person. So these are those shares. Shareholders have to get the dividend from the shares at the prevailing rate. The rate can be deflated, the rate can be inflated at that time, but no matters, the shareholder will get it according to the prevailing price. Okay, I hope it is clear to you all, students. I hope, students, what we have discussed today in this class is clear to you all, right? And we will come with the next topic in the next class.